From the front page of the Yonkers Statesman, September 9, 1916. Headline: Serious Outlook in New York Car Strike. Prospect that lines of the 3rd Avenue system may be involved. Both sides in the street railway strike expected a crisis today when the traction company tried to reestablish normal service on its surface lines through the use of strikebreakers. The strikers had been notified that by renouncing allegiance to the union, they may get their jobs back up to 1 o'clock this afternoon. After that, the company reserves the right to use strikebreakers to fill the places of employees whose desertion has reduced the number of Green Line surface cars in operation by about 80%. The striking carmen were encouraged today by the promise of moral and financial support from the Central Federated Union, representing 500,000 trade unionists in New York City. It is announced that plans have been made to call strikes in other branches of labor to support the traction men, on the ground that their fight involves the main principle of organized labor, and their defeat would mean the beginning of a move to break down labor unions throughout the country. At its meeting last night, the Central Federated Union adopted a resolution requesting Samuel Gompers, president of the American Federation of Labor, to come here and take charge of the situation. John P. Riley, president of the District Council of the International Longshoremen's Association, said today he had instructed the 1,800 members of the Tidewater Boatmen's Union not to handle any barges laden with coal destined for the powerhouses of the Interborough Rapid Transit Company, whose motormen and conductors are striking. Members of the Yonkers Trolleymen's Union have been called to a meeting tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. This is the first direct indication that the local trolley employees may join the strikers in New York City. Motormen and conductors of the Yonkers Railroad say that a strike is inevitable. Said one conductor, "Unless this question of arbitration is settled once and for all, we will strike again." Headline: Aim to purify elections by law and regulate campaign expenditures. A bill known around the Capitol as Corrupt Practices, whose object and mission is to do away with all taint of corruption in elections. If this bill becomes law, or when it becomes law, as its supporters prefer to phrase it, it will put our elections on a new basis of financial publicity. The Owen bill provides that in order to get into the game of national politics, you must do it according to rule. If you're going to spend any money in a way that will influence the result of an election, directly or indirectly, you must organize into a political committee. The committee has to come out into the open in this resolution and state fully and in detail the candidate or candidates it is going to try to help elect. The treasurer must keep a bank account. He must keep a complete record of receipts and expenditures. He must carefully save all his receipts. His records must show how much each contributor contributes and where he lives. When the records are complete, they are to be sent to Washington and preserved open to the inspection of anyone who cares to read. The name and address of each person who gives over $100 is set down individually. Section 9 of the bill contains the most radical innovation of all, as some critics see it. This section heartlessly provides that no man shall contribute more than $5,000 toward a campaign to influence the results of any election. In presidential campaigns, the bill provides that no more than $400,000 may be spent by any national committee. Not more than $50,000 may be spent in trying to secure the nomination. Also, no committee may spend anything to secure the nomination of a candidate without his knowledge and consent, so the candidate cannot plead that his good friends have been spending their substance on him unbeknownst. There is little doubt that a bill substantially along these lines will be passed either at this session or the next, and campaigning will be something of a changed science in consequence. Headline: 4 new paralysis cases, another death from the disease in this city. Physicians favorably impressed with results of use of serum in New York City cases. And that's the news from Yonkers 100 years ago today.